Yeah, the final chapter of the book is the Lysa being chucked out and Marillion taking
This
the blame.
silly singer has killed my lady wife.
That's the one.
My wife.
My wife.
I did not mean to do that, but...
Littlefinger.
My wife.
My wife in the moon door.
Oh no, my wife went out the moon door. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Brotherhood Without Manners, your favorite full spoiler reread podcast of George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire series, going down creamy and smooth. As always, I'm your host Zach, sitting here with me, tolerating my intro,
Barely.
my brother Nate.
Fucking barely. I was looking more at how quiet it petered. Like, it was nice and loud, and then it just got... And you're like,
Yeah, he hates
and
it when I do
so-
tonal inflections that lower and get quieter. He likes loud waveforms.
Yeah, I still have work to do so that we're both on our own microphones. So we share the one. And
It's
he's
weird.
Just
We have to, lean in awkwardly
nice and close. It's nice.
It's not. There's
intimate.
not a single
It's
nice
intimate.
thing about it. I hate having to sit within 5 feet of him, let alone...
It's warm. It's hot.
It does get
'Cause
hot real
I'm
quick.
hot.
So let's get through this fucking shit. We are a full spoiler reread podcast, if you didn't hear me in my little spiel there. So if you haven't joined us before...
They might have been lost in the velvety smoothness
I
of
know.
your
That's
voice as you
that's
came
the
through,
sexiest
so.
I've ever sounded in my life.
Anyway, last episode we were reading Jamie. Jaime 8.
Jaime, we love us a sexy Jamie chapter.
Yeah. He was interviewing his fellow white
It was all about
folks,
dicks.
And right, you were on
They were
the
comparing
dick. You
lots
were
of
on the
dicks.
dick last episode.
I'm always on Jamie's dick, dude. They were comparing dicks a
Yeah.
lot.
There's a lot of dick comparing.
Jamie was
going through
looking at the white book, right? And he
And-
was sad at his legacy because he doesn't have one yet. But, as I'm experiencing at 33 is the new 22 is what I'm telling myself. So you got a whole one life to live, long life to live.
YOLO.
Jamie, you're just starting out, bud. There's plenty of time to fill your pages in the white book or the yellow pages. I don't know why the phone book popped into my head, but it sure did. So yeah, Jamie is concerned about his legacy in comparison to the previous Lord Commanders before him. Kind of similar stuff to what John's going to be going through here soon when he becomes Lord Commander. Fun stuff. Jamie's then meeting all his brothers that he doesn't know yet, and there's quite a few of them. There were 3 new ones, 3 old ones, something new, something borrowed, something old, something blue, something like that.
That's how it works.
You
sure.
know. And then him and Loras, he got to see how similar to himself at that age Loras is, and that was a lot of fun. That's a really fun sequence.
A quippy young whippersnapper.
And he basically told Loras to put his shit with Brienne aside and actually go judge her justly on his honor, go listen to what she has to say, because that crazy bitch loved Renly, and Renly was a piece of shit toward her.
Yeah, and
Fuck
Loras
Renly.
was basically talked into revealing all the facts that were against Brienne having committed this atrocity.
Yeah, Jamie, he's a wordsmith, y'all. He's smooth.
you spend your life with Tyrion, and as much as we know
and
Tyrion's
Cersei,
a piece of shit,
and Cersei,
we love Tyrion.
who thinks she can do.
I suppose also Tywin, the one who helped teach them all
one who taught everyone, the one who everyone wants to suck
Again,
off.
we're getting to see the turn. Ever since, his trip with Brienne, this is the beginning of his redemption arc. And so...
There's no character development in these books. That doesn't happen here.
Zach actually believes that to be true.
Well, only in Les Mis and Lord of the Rings.
Right. Thank you.
This chapter, though, we're going to see, motherfuckers. We on a boat for some of it. Because we're joining Sansa. I just drooled a little bit.
Yeah, you also looked that way while you finished your sentence.
Well, I didn't want to drool on you. You're welcome, because that one fucking spittle flew. So, Sansa 6 is where we at here and now. Sansa's second to last chapter in A Storm of Swords. Have a lot to say about this chapter. Last we left Sansa, though, it was her breakneck escape from the Purple Wedding with a Sir Dantos Hollard who was fucking useless and bumbling like a fool.
Damn.
I mean, honestly, Littlefinger kind of a real one for putting some bolts into his chest because he was a fucking problem.
He was going to be a problem.
He's a messy
if he
bitch.
Wasn't cleaned
He's
up.
a messy bitch,
Right.
and he steals Sansa from the Godswood.
Just to shed some evidence to that, he was taken. His knighthood was taken away because he couldn't help but drink all the time. He was made a fool. Then he's supposed to be performing these secret tasks. He still hasn't stopped drinking
Right,
all
he was
the fucking
trash.
time.
He's trash trying to sneak Sansa out when, like, discretion, secrecy, stealth is what they're after.
And the only reason he's managing to get so far along as it is because they promised him money that he can use to buy more booze.
And that's Littlefinger's reasoning for putting 3 in him. Is
when he runs out of money,
he'll sell her secrets.
Exactly.
And that's 100% true. Dantos does manage to steal her out using some very familiar to us secret passages that Daddy Stark had used way back when. And the symmetry between Sansa doing the same path. But we also learned that Littlefinger has a one-track mind. He only knows this one secret path, apparently. And she's stolen down to a boat driven by Oswald Kettleblack, who, you know, we don't know that there, but mystery. And then out to a boat where she's, you know, all can like, ooh, who is it? Who's doing this? And then there's Littlefinger being
that she could just see his breath forming in, like, he's
all the mist out on the bay was actually just Littlefinger's heavy breathing.
Right, it's just him breathing.
It wasn't
because
of the you know, the weather reaction.
Finally,
it was just Littlefinger's heavy breathing made all the mist over Blackwater Bay.
Awful.
And so we open this one still aboard the Merlin King. That is the boat we are on. And Sir Lothar Brune is offering Sansa a hand up onto deck. He is much stronger than he looks, which I just think is a good foreshadowing for where this chapter ends up. He's kind of got a jowly face. She's kind of like, he's rough. And then she's like, but he is a sir.
He reminds me
my manners.
Of like the gruff Roderick Castle. Like, he's the mercenary Roderick Castle.
I was going to say,
hardcore,
put some fucking respect on what you're saying right here, because we love Roderick. And so,
right.
But
and so
sell sword, like
mercenary,
yes.
like this, like. Brr.
I'll take that, I guess. And so yeah, he helps Sansa up on deck. They have arrived at a bare, windswept, stony strand, which is actually a welcome sight because we learned that a storm had recently blown them off course.
Yeah, she did not like that.
Who would? 2 men were swept overboard. One fell and broke his neck. So, like, it was pretty nasty. This is a boat out of... I'm saying, apologies. This is a merchant vessel out of Bravos. These motherfuckers know how to sail. So the fact that 2 are swept overboard and one fell and broke his neck shows us that this is a pretty nasty storm.
It was a nasty storm.
And poor Sansa's little tummy was
she
doing
was like,
rumblies.
yo, I stayed in my cabin, like, the whole time.
Same girl.
I don't blame her.
I ain't seeing that shit. I'd be freaking the fuck out.
Just feeling it is going to be enough to set your stomach on.
She had been sick most of the voyage on top of it, whether through PTSD, because she sees Joffrey dying every time she closes her eyes. You know, sure, super traumatic thing to have witnessed and been there for. Or because of the storm, she's not sure. Some nights she saw Tyrion as well. But Littlefinger kind of twists some storytelling here and tells her of Tysha. You know, did he ever tell you of his first wife and Tysha? And she's like, yes, he did.
Crazy how many times we hear this story.
It's so convoluted. And it's so convoluted that I think it's brilliant because when we finally do get the truth from Jaime, it's still hard to this day to keep track in my head of like, wait, so she loved it? She didn't love it. She did love him.
She did love him.
She loves me not. She loves me. But Littlefinger here twists it, saying that, oh yeah, when Tyrion got bored with her, he gave her to his father's guardsmen.
Gave her away.
We know, because we're in Tyrion's head, that no, that's one of the things that twists him up the most, is the fact that Tywin made this whore get raped by all of his guardsmen and then gave her the gold to pay for it. And it's the cruelty of Tywin Lannister put on display, though here it's Littlefinger trying to give Sansa an out for feeling empathy toward the dwarf. And so, wild man, this Littlefinger, as we'll discover a lot this chapter. Sansa thinks that I must look as haggard as a corpse and smell of vomit. which is just a very fun line considering we just saw someone who actually does look as haggard as a corpse and probably smells pretty close to vomit, more like decomposing body, in her mother. So she's looking like her mother, essentially, is what she's saying, which is just a lot of fun. She looks as haggard as a corpse. Here's Sansa in her little robe looking all stone hardy, and I love it. There is so much.
We could also throw that as well. I'm probably reaching even more than you are for that one.
Whoa.
But with Lysa, because she's mentioned as looking here in a bit, that she's younger than Kat, but she still looks 10 years older than her. She's
Lysa, to me, is
haggard as fuck.
The mummer. She's a Littlefinger comparison here. She's so done up in powder that she's the fakest thing ever, whereas Sansa is the beautiful Catelyn, both a corpse and in the beauty. Sansa is gorgeous. She's gorgeous, darling.
Fucking gorgeous.
She's killing it. But there's so much imagery here. Cat looms large over this chapter, obviously, with Lysa.
Sansa.
And
Sansa, I love you like your mother.
Sansa, I love your mother.
Now I'm gonna love
I love Jennifer Coolidge, can I just say? But I always
Jennifer Coolidge as Petyr
Baelish would
God.
kill it. Sansa, I'm so horny now. I can't get it out of my head, but yeah, so to me, Lysa is much more in Littlefinger camp. It's this mummer. She's this clown, and literally like clown makeup I see, you could see where the white of the powder ends on her neck, and it's gross. But Sansa is Cat in both Stoneheart form and in beautiful Catelyn Tully form here. One right here with the haggard as a corpse, and I like it a lot. Littlefinger approaches and it's like, we'll get you some wine for your tummy. Like, all right,
let's get this little girl drunk.
Yeah, it's gross. It feels gross. I have no idea if wine actually helps settle the stomach. It turns mine to think of like being nauseous and then drinking wine. But
yeah, I like grapes. I like grape. I like turtles. I like grapes. I don't know if they have any kind of stomach settly stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's more calm the nerves.
I think it's more like
when you have butterflies, sure. Then you might want a little bit of a sip of wine to help with that.
To get crunk.
But the actual
there's no butterflies here.
Yeah, this is just she's been puking for days. How about you get her a little bit of bread, maybe some ginger root that you grind
some
into
ginger ale.
Well, they don't have ginger ale. That's why I said you get because it's
they've got ale, they've got ginger.
Ginger ale, for those of you who need to WebMD it anyway, let me save you the time. It's actually the real natural ginger in that. So if it doesn't have natural ginger, then it actually
don't
won't
WebMD
your
anything,
stomach.
please.
Yeah,
don't self-diagnose.
Google's not a doctor.
If you need to go, if you're not feeling well, go to your doctor. If you live in America, I understand that's probably expensive.
Reddit.
But
what are you doing?
right, at least crowdsource it.
There might be a doctor who replies back at least.
So this is when Littlefinger's like, yeah, when we go ashore, we'll get you some wine. Sansa's like, we're going ashore. Excuse me, I don't want to stay here. Look at this place. Look at it. Look at this place.
Sansa, we're at my home. Oh, Sansa.
Oh, Sansa, we're home. But she's like, can we stay on the boat? And Littlefinger's like, the boat's going back to Bravo, so
it's out of here.
It's going without us, so we can't be on it. And Sansa is like, but you promised to take me home. And he's like, oh, did you think I meant Winterfell?
Let me introduce you to my friend Lucifer. This is how he twists words.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Lots of Lord of the Underworld imagery here in this chapter, and absolutely it's you thought I meant Winterfell. No, this is my home, Sansa dear, and so I did exactly as I said. We're home. Welcome home.
Remember, you're going to be my daughter now, so this is your home.
Ooh. And he says you are becoming, everything you've known is gone. All those you know and love are dead. Even the wall is under attack, so even Jon Snow isn't an option, which I think is just a fun because we know Arya just did the same thing with the Hound of being like, let's go to the wall. And even though Sansa hasn't vocalized it yet, I think it's interesting that Littlefinger is already undercutting that one of yeah, we can't do the wall either because it's being attacked by wildlings as we speak. Yay.
Nice.
And so you're a woman grown now. You need to make your own home.
Right. Winterfell was your childhood home. It's time you find your grown, you're a woman grown, he says, but he's grooming her so fucking bad in this channel.
It's icky.
It's disgusting.
It's icky.
I hate
He
this
says,
man.
but we won't be here long. Lysa's on the way, and we're going to be married soon, and it's going to be cool. And Sansa's like, oh.
We're going to the chapel.
Nope. We're doing it here. We're doing it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Yeah, he thought.
Sansa's surprised, but she's like, oh, like, Aunt Lysa will treat me well for my mother's sake, at least, I think. I hope. I don't know. Everyone I've met's been a piece of shit, but let's keep our fingers crossed on that one.
So right here he talks about how not everybody who's nobody becomes somebody.
Sure.
Where basically he's just saying that men of little renown or no name, no heritage don't become anybody. I'd like to argue against that hardcore right now because we hear about this happening all the time.
He is one of those people.
It's like I get that. He is one of these
So he
people,
doesn't believe it, I don't
but
think.
like Bronn of the Blackwater.
Right.
We've got fucking I'm blanking.
There's
on,
one.
There's
It's just
the
Bronn of the
one.
Blackwater.
It's just the one guy there.
Sir Duncan the Tall.
Right, I was gonna go with Duncan
Mhm.
was a big one. My favorite, Sir Creighton Longbow,
Sir, oh my
like Hedge
fucking
Knights.
Sir Creighton,
like,
sure.
There's all these different, like Shadrach the Mad Mouse has got renown. Like
Yeah.
people can make themselves into something. We're seeing that even people who have terrible reputations
Kristen
that have
Cole.
been destroyed can then raise that. Jamie is working on
regaining an honor
the
to his
honor.
name.
And
yeah.
so like rebuilding a name, and
Yep.
so the Hound is gonna do the similar thing.
No,
with
this
becoming
is him
someone new.
grooming. This is him basically
Yeah.
saying, like, you know, your claim is pretty much all you have, and so we need to protect that. And your home, Winterfell, that claim is what you now need to shelter, garner, and protect with me alone, only me.
Right?
And so yeah, he doesn't believe this because he is this.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's just it's crazy how blatantly he throws that out.
Yeah,
there.
he's disgusting. So they row ashore, and they're greeted by his household. An old woman, a fat middle-aged one, 2 ancient white-haired men, and a child of 2 or 3, birthed by Keta, one of the women here. The fat one is Kella. One of the old men is Byron, the captain of the guard. The old crone is Griselle. Umfrid is his steward. And so they head inside the tower after exchanging some pleasantries, ? It's Littlefinger being snide
right.
and
It's
rude
small
as
town
fuck.
talk where they're trying to be like, "Hey, welcome back. It's great to see you," and he's like, "Haha, I'm cleverer than you all are." 'cause
Who's this one, Kella? Which boy in town did you get? And she's like, I don't know, my lord. I
him
got
flexing in front of Sansa,
Yeah.
inside jokes to make it seem like he has like
not even inside. He's just insulting
It's that
them.
like, are you trying to flaunt that you're the most powerful man amongst a group of people that clearly seem happy just living a small, simple life?
And right.
Again,
yeah.
we know that the small folk are the people that nobody gives a fuck about, and so he's sitting here just tromping all over
Yeah.
them as if they're not even people; they're just farm animals. And he's like, these people seem nice as fuck.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, you're an idiot, and you're gross, and you're vile, and rah."
Yeah, even Sansa's privilege come like with her descriptions of him, the old one,
Yeah,
the fat
right.
one, and it's that she is getting there, but even Sansa is coming from a place of privilege and isn't
absolutely.
quite there with the small folk yet. But they head inside, and I really like the description of above the hearth. There hangs a broken longsword and a battered oaken shield. On it is a gray stone head with fiery eyes. This is Littlefinger's father's sigil.
I love this.
I love the broken longsword and the battered shield, pretty much representing the whole of the fingers here for what Littlefinger is. There is no lord to protect them, so the
Right.
longsword is broken.
It's a false.
The
like,
shield is
he
battered
can talk about the
and
sword and shield of the land all they want, but they're broken and busted.
yeah,
they're
there
not
is
doing nothing.
that contract, that social contract of lord and small folk does not exist here.
Right.
Littlefinger has nothing but disdain for his people, the people that he should be taking care of. He fucking hates them.
That everything he has created is built off falsehoods. There's nothing true about this guy.
Yeah, and any rewards he may reap, nothing will go back to this land, to these people, to anything to do with the fingers. He fucking hates it here. We also, there is the whole theory that Sansa felling a giant in the snow comes from the Titan of Braavos. The imagery here with it being Littlefinger at Winterfell, that she's gonna fuck up.
Yeah, it's very cool that the original sigil before Littlefinger just changed and took his own as the Mockingbird was this shield that we're seeing.
It's a badass sigil.
The Titan of Braavos' face, like
with the fiery eyes. Hell yeah.
It's just a sick sigil.
Yeah. Also, the two sisters with the Titan of Braavos. Arya will soon be seeing it up close and personal. Sansa.
Yeah, I thought it was cool that technically Sansa almost had the opportunity to
do the same thing as Arya.
Place
and
as
Arya. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Arya will see the Merlin King.
She will. I want to say she'll see it.
At
she
the
sees
salt
one
pans?
of them when it's either the Merlin King or it's the one that she specifically takes.
Right.
But yes, she does see a ship when she's in the salt pans getting ready to dip out.
But yeah, I just love the symbolism here. All the talk of Braavos for both the sisters. Like, it's a very interesting parallel between the two of them. Sansa is much closer to her family here than she may think, and it's just neat from the reader's perspective to see that. So they have some wine. Littlefinger calls for some food for Sansa,
and
who
he glares
also
at her
wants a bath. She's like,
so
"Can I have a bath?"
grossly during this whole, like, right here. I had to make a note of it that, like, of all the creepy he's already put, right here, he just is staring at her with, like, the hook mouth and just, I feel like he's one iota fucking away from just spilling drool down the side of his mouth as he gawks at her.
So when they're alone, they begin to discuss who Sansa needs to become. She will become Elaine, his bastard daughter. And Sansa's a bit aghast about being a bastard, but kind of not warms to it, but accepts that that's probably for the best. Elaine Stone, it would be, born of a daughter of a merchant prince in Braavos who died giving birth to Sansa, they'll say. And so as they're discussing this, Griselle brings up the food, fruit mostly, and Littlefinger offers Elaine a pomegranate. So
No.
Well, Sansa says no. Thankfully, because pomegranates are a fun little fruit that have some big symbolism annotations. Mainly, not everybody, that's a broad, but most people know the story of Persephone being basically locked into the underworld with Hades because she accepts a pomegranate, and the number of seeds that she eats, that she consumes, is sort of the amount of time she's locked in. And so it's a very fun, you already mentioned it, that's how Satan works, is, presenting something as it's not. This whole chapter feels very underworldy. This barren...
You're making deals with the devil.
This barren, windswept, rocky stone strand could absolutely be Hades.
It's a crossroads right here.
Yeah, and him offering this pomegranate, which she refuses. So the pomegranate does have a few other, it does represent fertility, life, but mostly death and power. And then, yes, there's the Persephone in the underworld. And so Sansa refuses the pomegranate while Littlefinger begins to eat the seeds off of the point of his dagger, in case we didn't need to know how dangerous he was and how kind of locking into this deal this scene was. But she thinks the seeds are too messy, so she chooses a pear instead, which, interestingly enough, the pear is what we will see Lysa chomping on later on when her and Sansa are about to have their discussions.
Sure.
So Littlefinger goes over our pieces and our players in the Game of Thrones that we're playing. Sansa was a piece, of course, and even Cersei is a piece to him.
And your dad is a fucking idiot.
Your dad
he deserved
was a big,
everything he got.
dumb dummy. He was noble, sure, but he was a horrible player. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
Idiot.
He's a cunt. Littlefinger's a cunt. So Sansa then, based on this discussion, concludes that Ser Dantos poisoned Joffrey. And of course, this is drastically incorrect, and Littlefinger explains why in a gloating, he is having way too much fun with this.
Right. Grooming and condescending
he
her.
He is stringing her along in the, like, who did it?
Come on.
Who did it?
Any more guesses? Go ahead. Who else?
And so
he breaks it down. What we said earlier, Dantos isn't trustworthy. He could botch anything at any moment.
He does call him Dantos the Red, which I really like, the red wine. Like, it's the... Or the red after he's bleeding out from the cup. But, like, Dantos the Red, right? He's a drunkard. He's an alcoholic who can't be trusted. So, no. And, yeah, he breaks it down
he's
for
a communist. The red,
the sickle and hammer. Dantos the sickle and hammer.
Goddamn commie.
So, Littlefinger then summons Oswell up so Sansa can take a good look. And it...
Looky.
Even presented it, she doesn't really get it until Oswell says, like, no, you've never met me, but you might have met my 3 sons. And then she's like, oh, you're Oswell Kettleblack.
Yeah, she's able to look past his beard and facial...
And Littlefinger does have a line that, like, made me actually laugh out loud, because Oswell's like, yeah, I'm Oswell Kettleblack, if it please my lady. And Littlefinger's like, yeah, she's absolutely overcome with joy. She's beside herself with joy. Now go. And, like, I made my point. I'm clever. Get the fuck out, is what he's doing.
You're not here to speak.
But
here to just prove
it was just that she's beside herself with joy. Right. Like, he's just doing... Oswell's just doing the formality. Like, he is following procedure here, as it please my lady. Like... And Littlefinger's having none of it in his... This is where he's king.
Cutting you down because I can't.
Right. And he's king of the roost here.
He kind of breaks it down to Sansa on how much they all are playing
the Kettleblacks,
game.
Yeah.
That he knew that Tyrion was having people sent out to get mercenaries to come into the city. He had the Kettleblacks planted, be in the perfect position. They suckled up to Cersei's teats, literally.
Cersei thinks they're hers. Tyrion thinks they're his, but they're really mine.
Right. And then they finally land on the person who adjusted her little hairnet and come to Olenna. I hate that he's the one revealing this, just because, again, it's been so long that I can't quite recall if it's mentioned elsewhere by Olenna and Marjorie and them. But I hate that it's initially given by him, because it's that, well, we know that everything else he said is bullshit. And so you feed truth through the lens of a liar, it still comes out as, I don't fucking believe, I don't trust you. Even if that's true, you're twisting it somehow.
No, I'm pretty sure that it's not mentioned by Olenna or Marjorie, because they're intelligent.
Right, they're smart enough to not share those deeds.
The fucking scheme dies with them. There is no reason for Littlefinger to reveal this except for him gloating. And to bring it back just a second, he mentions that the Kettleblacks are his and all that. They are 3 hidden daggers perfectly placed, because he asks her, what's more dangerous, Sansa? The dagger that's being thrust at your face, or the one that's behind your back that you don't know about? And she's like, well, the one in your back that you don't. And he was like, correct!
Very good, girl.
And
very
so
good.
I like that he says the 3 hidden daggers perfectly placed, because that, like, it's 3 hidden Kettleblack daggers. Daggers in the dark is Jon Snow thing. So it's just a very fun Littlefinger hitting on some things. He then, during this discussion leading up to Olenna, offers Sansa some blood orange next.
Blood orange?
Which, this she does accept. Blood oranges represent status, power, resurrection, and eternal life. Now, interestingly enough, we just had someone real close to Lady Sansa being resurrected and potentially living in undeath for eternal life. And, as we know, blood oranges are a huge thing for Oberyn.
So you think Lady's back alive now?
Yes.
Gotcha.
She's living up in the north. She's living her best life.
Yeah, so Catelyn has obviously
Catelyn is the resurrection with the blood orange, as well as Doran Martell's overripe plans and plotting.
Right.
I think there is some dual symmetry here of, one, the resurrection of Lady Stoneheart, and Littlefinger being a fucking idiot and thinking his plans are the hottest shit on the market, but he's going to overplot and overplan and wait too long, and then Sansa's going to come in and hit him with the jab.
Yeah, sneak in with some
and
cool
so I do
scheming.
think there's a double symbolism here going of, like, a fun little nod to, like, yep, Lady Catelyn is walking the land again, but also Sansa's your downfall, bro, because you're going to sit on this making her Lady of Winterfell plot for too long. She's going to get better at the game than you, and then she's going to fucking fuck you all up, and it's going to be the best thing ever. But he says, I love the juice, but hate the sticky fingers. Always, Sansa, keep your hands clean. And the always keep your hands clean is meant to be plotting, scheming, never let them know your next move.
Right.
And so, yeah.
I didn't think of that one. That's almost like that's a funny, like, direct, subtle double entendre there with the sticky fingers.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Always keep your hands
the
clean.
degrees of separation, if they don't know who hired the Kettle Blacks, Cersei thinks it's her, Tyrion thinks it's him, no one knows it's me. It's keep your hands clean. And so, yeah, then it gets into Olenna. And Olenna knew much better than Mace that the Loras, Marjorie, Joffrey stew, stick him in a pressure cooker, shake it all up. It ends with Loras killing Joffrey to protect his sister.
Down the line, he'd always expected that if they didn't come up with a plot like this, that Loras would eventually be like, no, you just touched my sister that way, you're fucking dead.
Yeah, he calls it Kingslayer stew, which is just so interesting coming off the Jaime chapter.
Right, where they were so
he said, it's me,
other.
You're me.
And that, I love that we know that Jaime would do that even if it weren't kings, if somebody touched Cersei, the way that he's implying that Joffrey's going to fuck with Marjorie. And so it's just such a great little phrase there.
Littlefinger implies that he planted the idea for Loras to be named by singing Joffrey's praises, but then, having his guards spread awful rumors, as well as having the singers start singing songs of various honorific Kingsguard members. I don't know that this so much is Littlefinger's like he'd like to think it is, but I don't know if I'm buying that. I just think it's a great allusion to the power of singers and how Marillion...
I do think he utilizes singers. I don't think that...
Again, it planted the idea the way he's claiming.
He does is he's going to take credit regardless of what's happening. And so while he might have had one singer out there putting in these ideas, he's very much the guy that's coming through and going, oh, K-pop's fucking huge? Cool. I'm going to do a K-pop beat here, and now here's my one song.
I don't... Like, he could have had 30 singers doing it. It doesn't mean that that's what gave the idea to Mace and Olenna to be like, let's have Loras be named to the Kingsguard as part.
Absolutely.
But he's sitting here with Sansa where he's like, I've got a captive audience who's going to believe everything I say,
right.
so
to
look
me,
how cool
it's very
I am.
much even if he did plant them, they were already singing about whatever it is that they're singing about. Mace and Olenna aren't out at the taverns going, oh, listen to this singer talk about,
Mace might be. He's an idiot.
They would have their own private singers that Olenna's clearly not just bringing in randos to sing whatever songs they want, and she's going to see through the bullshit. We know that. And so as flowery as singers get, she's going to not sit there and go, oh yeah, Loras should for that reason.
But I do like George's use of the singers here of, it's introducing us to their sway, their influence,
the way that they
and Marillion is going to be a fucking problem here real soon. So he says, but Marjorie needed to be a queen, and Olenna wanted that, but for that she needs a king, but that king doesn't need to be Joffrey. Tommen's just as good of a fucking option.
Right.
And
better
so
option.
Sansa's floored. She's like, oh my god.
But he's a little kid.
Oh my god, he's on X Games. She's she's kind of realizing the depths to which the game is played.
Is Tommen like
You haven't heard that? You haven't heard
like
oh my god, he's on X Games.
Pike?
Yes.
He's out snowboarding down the fucking
What do you
Erie
think
Mountain?
he's been
like,
doing?
What is Tommen up to? He's surfing out in Blackwater.
He's
just
on
hitting
X
those
Games.
gnarly
Yeah,
waves.
dude.
Like, love it.
We
Great.
love Tommen.
All right,
Yeah.
Tommen's fucking hardcore. Great. Got
And
it.
she thinks that at least she is safe though. And it's funny because at this point I've been trying to actually write Elaine instead of Sansa in my notes to get used to it, because that's what she's basically referenced for the rest of the series to us.
Right.
And so she thinks that Elaine Stone has no husband and has no claim. And those were the two things that were basically threatening her the most in this book, is her claim. That's why everybody wants her. That's why everybody needs her. And then her marriage to Tyrion was a fucking ordeal that she had been struggling with. So Elaine has neither of those. So
I hate that she thinks that now that King's Landing is behind her, she is safe, because it does show how little. I mean, she obviously has grown, matured, and gotten much smarter, but she is also
she's
still
not there
lacking.
yet. Yeah. I don't think
in
she
certain
thinks
areas.
it does. She's hoping it does. I don't think she's like, I am safe. I think she's like, I might be safe now. And then as soon as Lysa starts her bullshit at the end.
I mean, maybe that's what she feels, but she thinks, at least now I'm safe because King's Landing's behind me. And so at that moment, she was thinking she's safe.
Well,
with
right
him.
here
And
here,
it's unfortunate because we know in no way is she at all.
Yeah.
But
It takes 8 days for Lysa to arrive, so they're here at the Fingers for a week and some change. Sansa befriends the old doggo, and I fucking love that so much.
the old hound.
Yes, Littlefinger, the old hound. Littlefinger takes her around, shows her Plymouth Rock, which I love. The stone with the 7-pointed star carved on it, where he says it's one of the landing spots of the
Fucking
Andals.
Plymouth Rock. Holy shit.
That's what it is.
Yes, I get, yeah.
The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria for colonization. Fuck Christopher Columbus, the colonizer, not the director. The director's pretty sweet. I liked Prisoner of Azkaban.
I'm a fan.
Like, I don't like the layout of the school grounds,
It's weird.
but
It's a little steep,
it's weird.
but, you know,
but
it is what it is.
dude's a good director. So fuck the colonizer, not the director. But
Finally, Lysa arrives.
well,
oh god,
because he
here
takes her to the
he
little village.
tangents and then doesn't let me fucking.
Well, you're skipping shit.
Well, then get to the shit.
He takes it. I'm making fucking comedy. We are a
That's what he thinks
comedy
it is.
discussion podcast.
Oh, I thought we were a reread podcast.
You don't know fucking shit. You don't even know
Full
what we're doing
spoiler
here.
reread not comedy reread I
Listeners,
don't. It's not even in the intro.
He uploads the episodes. He puts the tags on them. Like, he knows this. He's just being dumb. He's just dumb. This is the dumbness that I have to deal with. The dumbness.
The dumbness.
The dumbness.
You're dumberer.
You're dumber. So he shows her the small little village. Though only the oldest person in the village seems to know who the fuck he is, which is very telling. He then shows her the empty hermit's cave and tells her the little tale of when his father brought him to see the hermit, because the hermit supposedly
yes.
prophesized. And he says, the hermit groped me for a bit and then proclaimed that I'd be a great man, and for that my father gave him a skin of wine. So, you know, Littlefinger was sexually assaulted
Generational trauma.
when he was a kid, is what this seems to be.
He was clearly finagled and fondled, and yeah, not good.
And, like, you know, not excusing his stuff as an adult, but that might be a precursor to why he's
that kind of
a
stuff
mess.
will lead to the psychological problems of him taking advantage of Lysa.
To what he's doing to Sansa.
And getting Lysa pregnant as a girl and having to have her father do an abortion and then falling in love and obsessing over Kat and wanting to get with her.
So
and then
that
buying
I do
brothels
think there is
and-
a little bit of an origin point of like, oh, this is why you're broken. Okay. And so, yeah, and then he kind of resents his father because he snorts and he's like, Jesus, I would have done the same thing. Like,
Yeah, because his father brought him to Uncle Jerry's,
Right.
and Uncle
Uncle-
Jerry was
Uncle
like,
Touchy.
come here, little boy.
Uncle Touchy's cave. Like,
Right.
So, yes, then Littlefinger arrives with a modest escort for the Lady of the Eyrie, Sansa thinks. Littlefinger and Lysa flirt, and it is one of the grossest things I've ever had to read. Lysa is horrifying in like a weird cartoonish way.
She's like an exaggerated opera singer, and I don't mean that as an insult to opera singers, but like the Victorian heavy makeup, like plastered on. She's looking like she's trying to be a porcelain doll, but just not good
I also
at
kept
it.
thinking, speaking of Harry Potter and Christopher Columbus, the director, not the colonizer, of Aunt Marge.
Yeah,
Like,
sure, yep.
just this horrid,
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
she's all made up and like
I mean, even an Umbridge just
looks
this
pretty,
pinned
but
up and-
she's a scary woman. Like,
Right.
she is not a great person.
on top of being insane, it's like she's just an extremist
Yeah.
with all of her thoughts about how she is correct in what she's doing, and she's fully bought into Littlefinger's
and this isn't like Lysa is a broken woman. She was traumatized by her father, by her husband. Like she was abused. Like there's no doubt about that. But it makes for a scary person with a lot of power.
She's
here.
like a unhinged Selyse.
Like the Selyse is already there,
but but like unhinged.
Yeah,
she so worships.
She's out there. She's out there singing.
And just instead of the
Selyse
red god,
is unhinged.
Instead of the red god, it's Littlefinger, and so she's just fully unhinged.
Sure, but
because like
Selyse
at least
is
it's
unhinged.
the flames. Yeah, but you're an unhinged religious fanatic. You're staring at the flames and God, he's here for us. Lysa's over here going, your fucking word to massacre the city is perfect.
They
bought
both
in. Let's
scare me
do
equally.
It. Sure, they're they're both just a different type of crazy.
Yeah.
They're the same coin.
Yeah.
They're just, this one's fucking chaos crazy. This one's whatever my God tells me to do crazy.
But Lysa is pretty much like poo on this and poo on that, poo on peace, because she asked Littlefinger if he brought her gifts, and he says, I brought you the king's peace, and poo on the peace, because she doesn't give a fuck about the world, as you were just saying, and being peaceful. And then she is absolutely adamant that they will be married here this very day. And Littlefinger's like, no, let's wait. Let's bring it back to the Eyrie so everyone can see.
Let's not rush this.
Because, like, when you're dead, I need everyone to not question that we legitimately got married.
Right.
And she's like, no, fuck that. I'm not waiting. I've waited long enough for you. And he's like, all right.
Cool. Like, I have to.
Right. I have to. And so to keep you appeased, to make sure this goes the way I want and I still get the Eyrie, I will relent and allow it. So they're married within the hour, and Sansa even has a dance with a couple of knights, which is nice for her. That's about the only nice thing that occurs this evening.
Right.
Then the bedding ceremony happens. Littlefinger stares at her during the undressing.
The whole time.
Giving as good as he got as far as the bawdy jokes. We know, listeners, Sansa isn't the one throwing out these jokes. It's the queen's.
Right. And he's
not
just...
the queen, sorry. It's Lysa's.
And he's just staring
giving
her
Sansa
these retorts and these jokes back. Like, you know I'll be hard as fuck.
Oh, my God,
it's gonna
dude.
You're going to be loud? I'll be making you loud.
And
like,
Lysa claims she's going to be loud. But yeah, him grilling Sansa
and that,
this.
Sansa doesn't want to get accused or just, so she has to join in.
She's partaking, right. It's tradition.
It's just such a weird,
No, it's vile. It's fucking vile.
Fuck.
She even thinks, Tyrion spared me this, during our wedding.
He didn't stare at me while all the people got him undressed and he looked at me naked, getting harder and harder.
And true to her word, Lysa is horridly loud and disgusting.
So, you can be as loud as the hell you want when you're making love. That's the name of the song. To each his own. There are some people, not going to name any names, Lysa, that do it for the attention
Lysa
of
is
making sure
turning up the
know.
song, I just had sex.
Right.
And it felt so good.
It's the fact that you're doing it as a
show, a production.
I'm going to make sure I disturb everybody the fuck around me just so that I'm getting fucked and I love it.
Right.
I make sure I'm being pleased.
Petyr Baelish is mine, and he is pleasing me with his rock hard dick.
Get over, I get it. A good hard dick is great. What do you got to tell the world?
Yeah, it's
for
gross
in that way. You want to gossip to your girls and all that shit over breakfast time tea. Do your thing.
Yeah.
Screeching like it's your job to let King's Landing know from here that you're getting
She said she was gonna.
It's wicked. Insane.
It's wicked insane.
Sorry.
Wicked insane. We are from New England, so that came out a little bit. Wicked insane.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. I am not one to yuck yums. I'm yucking Lysa's yums here. This is fucking gross. This is vile behavior. She's acting like a fucking teenager. And I understand there's probably some arrested development with her. this is fucking vile.
Yes.
It just the lead up to it, the fact that Sansa is one of the ones who has to listen to it when Littlefinger was just grilling her, so you know he's thinking about her and Mama Cat.
And that, like, you know that Lysa, being the incredibly jealous psychopath that she has become, is aware that she was just introduced to this bastard who's a very pretty little bastard. And so it's that, I need to make sure you know, bitch, that I'm his like, it's me and him, and this is actually happening.
It's gross.
And it's that flaunting it in front of Sansa. And that doesn't change once she knows that Sansa's Sansa.
Yeah.
She still is convinced that Littlefinger's...
So Sansa thinks of her own wedding. She thinks of the Hound a little bit. And then she goes out for just a little jaunt through the rain.
For some peace and quiet.
Right. She comes back in and things have cooled down. Littlefinger and Lysa are quiet. The rest of the retinue, they're kind of either sleeping it off. One's puking in the privy. Two are fooling around quietly, not disturbing anyone. They're in the corner groping each other.
Right, there's a time and a place.
And then, so she goes and she lays down with the puppy. I did notice a weird little issue here. She lays with the dog, and then all of a sudden it says Marillion is sitting next to her in her bed.
No, I didn't see in the bed part. I think it's like in the bed.
No, it straight up says he sits on her bed.
Please bear with us.
Yeah, like pull up the book. Listener, pull up your own book and join us in looking. But she lays down with the dog, and then it says that Marillion comes and sits down on her bed. There it is. He's saying da-da-da-da.
Yeah, it was in her little alcove beneath the steps where she was sleeping, where her bed was.
Her bed is in the alcove?
Yeah. It's a little tiny fucking shack of a place. Like, there's only the big one bedroom.
Sure.
Yeah, that's how
so
I
she's
took that.
Harry Potter. She's got the cupboard under the stairs.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. I mean, fine. It was just a weird, like...
And then
I thought she went to the dog's bed and then was kind of laying there like I do with Beric at home, where, like, I'll go lay in his spot with him.
Yeah, and all of a sudden he was standing over there.
And, okay. So, sorry.
That up.
I wanted to confirm. That was just weird. It tripped me up. But, yeah. So...
We're not AI. We don't just know this shit.
She lays with the dog, and then Marillion shows up. First offense, he hits the dog and sends him off.
Right, because the dog is being like dogs should, a good old boy, growling at him like, who the fuck are you?
You're a predator.
It's gross,
go away.
And you need to leave. And he gets fucking cuffed. Oh, I'll smack the shit out of him.
And then he starts being gross, and he's like, hey, I've been dreaming of you all day, thinking of you. I want to write songs about your boobs and your legs and your eyes and your vagina.
And so I'm gonna. Come here, you're mine.
Yeah, he starts grabbing her leg, and Sansa's like, I'm a maiden. Get the fuck away from me.
And he's like, even better.
Yeah, give me your maiden head, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a voice being like, get the fuck away, singer.
So glad the Hound is here, dude.
We love the Hound. Oh, that's not the Hound. That's Lothar Brune, y'all.
Yeah.
He actually cuts Marillion a little bit, and Marillion, you cut me. And he's like, yeah, I'll do fucking worse. Go. And so Marillion runs off, and Sansa's like, man, the Hound. Oh, wait.
And so that's the difference right there between Lothar Brune and the Hound. There wouldn't have been the conversation. If he was groping Sansa, the Hound would have beheaded him right then and there.
There would. I disagree. I think the cut would have he would have lost like an arm. Like it wouldn't just be a little like you cut because then Luthar's like, I'll do worse if you don't go.
No, the
worst
first
one would have been
hand.
that would have been the worst.
But yeah, she did recognize immediately. Wait.
And Lothar Brune, like, it seems like it's a good moment, and then Lothar Brune is like, yeah, Littlefinger told me to look after you, and you're like, oh, right, like, no matter what, we're surrounded by Baelish and his grossness, so it's protecting what's his. It's not defending her honor. Right. It's protecting his goods, and so, ew.
Right, Baelish will fire him if anything happens to her, and so...
So that night... She dreams of Joffrey dying, and then Joffrey turns into Robb. There's no symbolism there. They didn't both die at weddings. So, you know.
Yes, they did.
Oh, they did. You're right. Huh. Look at that. George is clever. Wow. She dreams of Tyrion on their wedding night. His eyes devour her. Yeah, his eyes devouring her, similar to Littlefinger during the bedding. But he's also bigger than Tyrion had any right to be, and when he gets into their bed, half of his face is scarred, and he demands a song of her. And so...
Yeah, so a ton of things there. We know that a small man can cast a large shadow, and we've heard him being a giant. There's been prophecies talking about giants also that might have allured to.
It's her fear of him being bigger,
him being larger than the Hound, requesting the song.
Crawling into her bed, perhaps because a lot of people theorize that there's some romantic involvement between them two.
Tyrion also had half his face chopped up in the battle.
He
of
becomes
Blackwater,
disfigured.
So he's also disfigured.
Yeah,
there.
it's a. Nate and I were just talking about weird dreams and your subconscious stew. It's just mishmashing all sorts of stuff together for poor Sansa. So the next morning, Lysa summons her, and Littlefinger's getting dressed.
Lysa has some news.
Lysa has some fucking news. And Littlefinger's getting dressed and tells Sansa, I told your aunt who you are. She wants to speak with you. Then he goes to leave, and he licks honey off of Lysa's lips, which, bro's selling it. He has no interest in Lysa. We know this. He's playing a part because he wants her claim. And so, he's fucking selling it, though. He slept with her, and then in the morning, he's licking honey off of her lips, which just is extra vile.
Though, you do also have to keep in mind that as infrequent as it's become since she's gone to the Eyrie, this isn't a new thing. He's been toying with her for a lifetime.
Yeah.
And that's how he got her to turn against John Arryn so easily. Because, yes, as much as that was an arranged marriage, old man, young Lysa.
Well, yeah, Lysa goes into that here.
A lot of people would actually be happy about John Arryn was a kind, gentle man, supposedly. I mean, again, it's in this world. This is not, real life is bad.
Lysa alludes to John Arryn being a little pedo, too, which is interesting, I think.
Right.
But yeah,
especially considering
Littlefinger's I've had enough of this shithole, so we leave for the Eyrie today. Done with it. And then he leaves the girls to talk.
And they have a heart-to-heart. It's sweet.
Lysa talks immediately of darkening Sansa's hair because they need to avoid Tywin's wrath. She's like, you can never call me Aunt Lysa. That's how people will talk in King's Landing. Will hear word that you're up in the Eyrie, and I've done all of this, stayed out of all the wars. We're not drawing Tywin up to the Eyrie. So again, we get that Tywin fear. It's Tywin. Tysa. Marsha.
Yeah, I got it.
I don't know why I went to Tysha.
Yeah, that's why
I
was like,
Tywin.
Sure.
Marsha, Tysha,
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, it's Tywin again. Lysa's paranoid. Then she talks with John Arryn and how, it was the arranged marriage. He was an old man and done, and all he cared about was getting his armies for his boys, she calls him, which again, I think just she kind of puts some venom in it.
Yeah, to me, it's very much because I don't think that John Arryn is that kind of.
I don't either.
think he's a Pycelle. It's that she hated him so much that any kind of potential jabs that she can throw out. Oh, well, you had all those little boys at your house that you were, warding for, that were wards, and so you were fingering a little butthole, a little Ned Stark and fucking Robert Baratheon. You were having a whole dang little shindig there, weren't you? A little Neverland Ranch action.
Whoa!
The accusations were unfounded. Leave Michael Jackson alone.
Erie Land Ranch.
Leave John Arryn alone. Leave
John Arryn alone.
Right.
Yeah, she talks of how his seed was weak. He would do his duty as per her husband, but he never pleasured her. All of their babies died except for Arryn. 3 girls and 2 boys, which is the exact opposite of what Catelyn gave to Ned. She gave him 3 boys and 2 girls, right. And so it's, again, just a fun fucking switcheroo.
Right. She's also, we're going to see again, how unreliable she is because she misinterprets, as we've always known, the seed is strong line, as if that was relating to him in some way. And
well, yeah, because she's like, when you're near death, sometimes you're given visions, and he saw how strong Robert's gonna be, and that's why he said it. The seed is strong, and holy fucking manic. This
Kool-Aid
woman.
upon Kool-Aid upon Kool-Aid, man.
So then she gets all teary-eyed, and she's like, you know your mother's dead? We're women alone now, you and I, Sansa. We've got to be brave. Be brave with me, girl. And, the flip in a moat, like, and
she's
so
manic and then she's down, and then
so then she says, come and kiss me, child. You're allowed to kiss me, and Sansa does, and she smells the powder and the makeup and a little sour milk smell, which like it's almost like a court, like it's hiding
I believe that
the rot.
And I am just a stupid simple man. I believe that when a woman has not had a child and like has gone past that age where their children have grown up, that if they have milk produced,
milk.
It's not exactly healthy milk at that point.
Right.
And so that I feel like could potentially enhance her odor.
To me, yes, like, sure, I know neither here nor there of that, but it's the mummers bit of it for me, of like she presents as this very beautiful, well-to-do, well put together, but underneath there's this odor of not pleasantness, and that is Lysa through and through, and as we'll learn, because she grabs Sansa and she's like, "Are you with child? Tell me." And Sansa's like, fucking, no, I'm still a maiden. Like, Tyrion never touched me. He was, and she almost says kind, and she's like, no, that'll send her over the fucking moon. So she's like, he had whores. Like, and Lysa's like, of course he did. Who the fuck else would touch him?
They'd have to be paid.
And then she's like, I almost had him, but he's got some low cunning, so he tricked me. And I told Catelyn not to bring him to the Eyrie, but she did anyway, because she's a stupid bitch. But now she's dead, too. And so then
she's like, that's fine, that's good, that's great. You're going to marry your cousin.
Well, she mentions that she's going to make, because then she talks about the clans of the Mountains of the Moon and how they're getting crazy. But Littlefinger will straighten all that out because she's going to name him Lord Protector of the Vale. So right there, she says what Littlefinger's getting out of all of this.
Right.
Like, she's so oblivious to the fact that Littlefinger's such a schemer that that's all he wants from her. But
right, that, and then now he's also got the Warden of the North there right in his back pocket with Sansa.
And then yes, Lysa talks of like, as soon as Tyrion's dead, we'll get you married again. And Sansa's like, married again? Like, fucking who now? And Lysa immediately like, your cousin Robert, wouldn't you like that?
That big strong boy.
Yeah, and goes into a fucking tirade of, as soon as the imp's head rolls, we'll get you married. It'll have to be a secret wedding, of course, but, then she starts talking about how all the boys that used to play with Robert she had to send away because they were too rough, and how a lot of people say poison is a woman's weapon, but it's their only defense sometimes. So she's alluding there to Jon Arryn.
Can I also say that it seems to me as though she's also potentially alluding to, is it Munchausen syndrome? What's the one where they are poisoning the child? And
interesting.
Making them pretend or think that they're sick when they're not, and she's refusing to allow Robert Arryn to grow up. Is she also
That's
keeping
super
him
interesting.
ill? Because they were too rough with him. He's sickly. Well, of course, if you're feeding him poison
if you're
all the
coddling
time,
him, and
what is that one called?
Is it Munchausen?
I don't know.
I don't think it's Munchausen.
Maybe it is.
But I know what you mean. Where you're basically projecting him being so ill onto him that it's kind of psychosomatically making him ill,
coupled with poison.
You think she's straight up poisoning
I could see her actually adding something as
well.
Well,
like, I mean, if her breast milk is sour, like,
it could just be that through her. But
yeah. Interesting. I definitely think it's a case of at least psychosomatic, where she's like, "You're sick, you're sick, you're sick," and he's like, "I'm fucking sick.
I know. I'm
sick
sick as fuck."
But yeah, she kind of hammers it home at the end here, where she's like, "Sansa, you don't have shit. Winterfell's gone, your mother's dead, your brother's dead, your father's dead, you're a beggar. So you should be happy and grateful to have a marriage as fucking great as my Robert. And when you play games with him, you're going to let him win because he is Lord of the Eyrie, and he deserves that. And he's a good little boy, and you're going to read him stories. And my Robert will have a grateful and obedient wife." And so immediately, fuck, it's King's Landing all over again.
To me, what I'm seeing here also is that this is what Sansa has to look forward to if she stays with Littlefinger.
Of course.
This is the end result of his grooming across a lifetime. You get this obedient wife who is just taking care of the child to grow for Littlefinger.
And has to pretend to be grateful for it.
Right.
Like, you got me out of King's Landing so that I can be yours.
Right.
And it's vile. And so, yeah, it's frying pan fire,
Exactly.
which is which. This is no better than King's Landing. This is her family doing this to her. This is Aunt Lysa being a fucking crazy bitch. And unfortunately, that is because of the effect of Littlefinger and what he's been doing for years, and she's not seeing it. But, yeah, it's like a gut punch for Sansa right here at the end where you're like, geez Louise, like, do you want the sadist or do you want the fucking coddled, spoiled in a weird way as well little shit who now you've just got to pacify and gratify through everything, and like down to the like you've got to let him win to come into my castle,
right.
or like
fucking word.
So yeah, awful. And that's it. That's where we leave Sansa until next chapter, where we join her, I think, at the Eyrie proper.
Her next chapter.
Not next chapter.
She is the last chapter of this book.
And that's her final.
Before the epilogue.
The last POV.
Right. We have one last chapter from her, and it will be the final point of view chapter of this book. And that is when Lysa takes a tumble, because Petyr Baelish throws her and
Lysa takes a tumble. That's the title. That's gotta be the title.
And that's the one where Petyr Baelish blames Marillion, who takes the blame.
Fuck Marillion.
All that shit.
But yeah, this one, it's a great chapter, but it's ick. It's so much ick, all rolled around.
We're at Petyr Baelish's home,
right.
So we get to see that coupled with Lysa and her. The way that it's. Really, again, we're just seeing the way that all these people have been fucked and affected by their past to the point where they're now fucking and affecting other people's
even Lysa
futures.
has the feel of some creature that you would find in the underworld. Like,
she's definitely this. Again, it reminds me of it's that movie that you showed me, Ink, with the puppet lady that's like made up, and she seems like that. Just this very delusional.
That's a
crazy...
deep cut. It's a super indie film, Ink. But I do recommend it. James Wan is the director of that. If you can find it.
Wan's pretty famous, actually. James Wan.
I don't think that's correct. James Wan, you're right, is famous. I don't think that's the actual director of the movie I'm thinking of. It's similar, but not. But that's a pretty indie, so if you can find it, I recommend it. But yes, the character Nate's referencing, absolutely. Lysa's equal parts scary and pitiable in this.
Yeah.
Whereas Littlefinger is just, we're giving him shit as being a gross group, but he's scary here. He is in control. This is him at what he thinks is the height of his power, thinking everything is going his way, and it is, for the most part. He's gotten everything he wants. It's all going according to his plan.
I can't wait to see him get fucking clobbered.
He is feeling himself here, and it's gross when he's feeling himself. And so, the whole chapter has this feeling of a purgatory underworld type vibe, and making weird, gross deals, and people getting fucked real loud, and ick.
Yeah, so we've been saying it, but we are inching ever closer to the end of this book.
Yeah.
Next chapter will be John 9.
Johnny boy.
And so back to the wall, where I believe this will be him treating with Mance.
I've been wrong about the wall every single time.
Stuff, so who knows?
Who knows where we're going next?
Maybe if we actually take a look at our notes in the book that we're reading. Anyway, join us next time for John. If you'd like to write in, comment, anything like that, have questions for us, you can send us an email at withoutmannersbrotherhood@gmail.com. You can also comment on our YouTube videos.
Hey, we see you, YouTube. We appreciate those comments.
They're great. Like, subscribe, there's a bell somewhere for something. I know bells from Hollow Knight and Silk Song is more relevant.
There is no video to accompany. It is just audio on YouTube as well. So, we
are an audio podcast.
But I know a lot of people like to just put YouTube on and have it play there. So, that's another way to just listen to us.
Yeah, it's also helpful because apparently some of our episodes do not appear
on Spotify.
In certain countries.
Oh.
Certain countries have certain episodes unallowed. but they are always available on YouTube, and so some people will just fill in.
So find us there if you're missing an episode on Spotify, find us on YouTube if you can.
I think that's about it for this episode, though.
That's cool.
So we'll catch you on the next one.
I'm going to scream so loudly.
Fowler de Harris.